Hey everybody, this is JJ from Reality Survival, and I'm over here on Zombie Go Boom TV today, and I want to talk with you about how to build an evasion shelter or a combat shelter, and using the BLISS acronym. Now, the BLISS acronym stands for blend, low, irregular shape, and size. And we're going to talk about each one of those and how to incorporate those characteristics into your shelter today. So stick with me and we'll get going. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to get about a 6 or 7 foot area on top of this log cleared out where we can run our shelter material over the top of it. And that's going to kind of form the ridge pole for our shelter, and we'll run it down on each side. Okay, so the next step after you've got the top cleared off and kind of smoothed over so you're not going to punch any holes into your shelter material or anything like that, is you got to clear off the bottom side and the sides where the material is going to kind of lay down. You also want to go ahead and clear an exit out one way on one side and then an exit out the other way on the other side. Kind of clear the branches and everything like that. That way you can escape either way if you need to. All right, so let's go ahead and get the material put on here. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and take a look at this shelter. This is, like I said, a typical representation of like an evasion type shelter that we used to teach in the survival school. And it incorporates the BLISS acronym for setting it up. So B is the first letter in the acronym, and that is blend. And you can see that this shelter blends into the local environment pretty well. We used a camouflage tarp, or an old poncho, a military style poncho. And we went ahead and added some leaves and some dirt and pine needles and sticks and all that kind of stuff up in there, and that helps it to blend in better. The next letter in BLISS is L, and that stands for low. So as you can see, this is low. It's below my waist in height, and it's just a couple of feet off the ground. So as people are scanning the horizon and that kind of thing, this is going to be down out of the way, and it's not going to be really noticeable. The next thing is I, and that's for irregular, I and S actually, irregular shape. Now this obviously has a very irregular shape. It's just kind of, some parts are high and some parts are low, and it's kind of, it's not perfectly uniform and all that kind of stuff. And that's exactly what you're looking for, because straight lines stand out in nature. All right, they look man-made and all that kind of stuff, and you want to try to make them, your shelter as irregular as you can. And the last thing, so that was I and S, irregular shape. The next thing is size. This is small, and that's what you want. You want something small. This is going to be it's not going to be a permanent shelter. It's going to be something for, just a couple of nights or something like that until you have to move out of the area or whatever the case may be. So the last S in BLISS is small. So keep it just big enough for 1 to 2 people. Crawling down in there and cuddling up and staying out of the water and all that kind of stuff, out of the rain or whatever the case may be. It works pretty well too, because the way I've got this tied off, I'll crawl up in here in just a second and kind of show you a couple of things that I've done that make it good for evasion and being able to take down really quickly. Okay guys, so I'm down here inside the shelter, and the way I've set this up is so that it can be taken down really quickly from the inside, and I don't have to get out of the shelter and walk around and all that kind of stuff. I've basically used about 6 to 8 foot lines. I've got 6 of them on one on each corner, and then one in the middle on the poncho, and I have tied those and attached those to the points out on the corners with a snow clove. So all I got to do is just basically pull on that, and I'm going to be able to pull that corner in. Then I can go, I've got the other one right here, and that's for that corner. And I've got the other one right here, and that's for the ridge line. And then I've done the same thing down by my feet. So I've got an exit down by my feet, and I can move out that way if I need to, and then I can move out right here as well. So I can go to either side of the tree, depending on where the zombies come from, or the threat, wherever the threat is. As you can see, again, it's not real big, but it is, good enough for me to get down underneath here, keep my gear dry, and be able to meet my needs. I could build a small Dakota hole fire, you know, right here, and I would be able to cook and that kind of thing. You know, so really it's going to work out pretty well for you. So just to go over the BLISS acronym one more time, it's blend, low, irregular shape, and size. So just remember that BLISS when you're building a you know, shelter in a combat environment. Okay guys, so just going to give you a real quick kind of wide-angle view of the shelter from a couple of perspectives, just to kind of show you how it blends in and all that kind of thing. So we've got the shelter right up there, and if we zoom in, be able to see that it does blend in pretty well. You can see that one straight line, you know, down there in the bottom corner of the screen there that I was telling you about there. But other than that, it's doing pretty good. So let's look at it from another angle. Okay, here we are perpendicular to the last view. The last view we were kind of looking towards the front of it. Now we're looking down towards the end. This was the end where my feet were. And we're about 30 yards, 35 yards out. I think the last shot was probably 25 yards out. So there we go. You guys can probably just start to see some of the poncho there. Right over here on that side. But, you know, overall, really blends in pretty well. And that's what you're looking for in an evasion type shelter, combat type shelter. And that's what using the BLISS acronym will do for you. Alright guys, so that has been a look at a evasion shelter incorporating the BLISS principle. Very good for a combat environment, good for the zombie apocalypse, or good for, you know, whatever kind of situation where you need to stay away from people and kind of stay off the grid and not noticed and that kind of thing. Just want to take a second and thank Zombie Go Boom TV for allowing me to come over here and be on their channel. I definitely appreciate it. And if you guys haven't had the opportunity to check out my channel, Reality Survival, then I would encourage you to come on over and take a look at that. You should be able to click the link down in the corner of the screen there on my logo, and that will take you over to the channel. I do about 3 videos per week. I try to switch it up between wilderness survival, prepping, and gear reviews. Some of the upcoming gear reviews that you'll see on my channel will be this Camelback BFM right here, and I think that stands for Big Feather Mucker. And then also this, I'll be doing a tabletop review of the SCX-4, and hopefully we'll also get a field review of the SCX-4 up here on Zombies Go Boom TV as well here pretty quick. So anyway guys, I definitely appreciate it when you click the thumbs up button, when you share it with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. And let me know down in the comments below, what is your favorite type of combat or evasion shelter? And do you like to put something like this up, or do you have something a little bit different? Alright guys, well, don't forget to live the 6 P's. Proper prior preparation prevents poor performance.